Good evening. Good evening to those who are not with us here today. Well done. Congratulations for this excellent today meeting. Thank you very much, Mr. Panagouli, for your invitation. We'd like to thank all the Energy Press team. Energy anyway is certainly a very interesting issue for all of us. Today we're going to talk to you about the so-called triptych of production, transfer or transportation and distribution, and how will this be affected by the green transition. Please allow me to say a few words about our company. PROTASIS is an incorporated company. It was founded in 2002 in Athens. It focuses on power networks, either by providing engineering, consulting and technical advice in network design or operation, or in certification where we provide integrated and comprehensive solutions in the area of energy. Of course, also very specified and highly, let's say, expert areas such as, for example, renewable energy resources and energy management. Let me say one more thing about our company. We give particular emphasis to the choice of personnel. We are now working in 75 and it is very important because our company is very much present in research and development, and this is thanks to our people, to our personnel. Then our customers are our energy, and that is why we put all our energy on them. We are present right now in 25 countries all over the world, and mainly in the area, mainly with energy providers, energy management authorities, and energy infrastructure entities. All this, of course, in compliance with the standards and the rules and regulations to which, of course, followed by the company. We have had particular attention the presentations of the speakers these two-day meetings. It is true that our country now is at a milestone point regarding energy. This is quite a crucial period. In PROTASIS, we have a vision which actually aligns with the clean targets of the country, or the targets of the country for clean energy, and generally with the European targets for green transition. And we hope that when certain decisions that are expected in the short term are taken, all will go faster. Now, we hope also, for example, that the European Green Deal, which aligns also itself with the Paris Convention on Climate Convention, we will see mid-term targets and long-term targets that are quite ambitious and that will be achieved, of course, including green, secure energy, the reduction of our dependency from imported energy, which of course is a very important issue, and we have heard many speakers analyzing it. Let us not forget the maximization of energy, energy performance. always in view of and under the motto that we consume energy, but this consumption is rational. Let us see the general framework also in numbers. This framework is quite ambitious. I would say both at the level of the consumer, at the level of the companies, and at the level of the country. So the main points are the reduction of gas house emissions by 55% in Europe until 2030, the decarbonization of the energy system with a total penetration of RIS at 60 or 70% until 2050, the reduction of primary energy consumption by 32.5% until 2030. This target of our country is also included in our national business plan for energy, we hope that it will be implemented. And another part which I would like to stress is transportation, both by maritime transport and air transport, where pollutants emissions must be reduced by 90% until 2050. Let us not forget that maritime transport only in Europe represents 50% of the total emissions produced. So this we're talking about how to bring about the energy transition, which is a mixture of many, let's say, factors. Let us not forget that unfortunately a very high percentage of world energy is still produced by fossil fuels and using systems that are right now are passive systems. We have to go into a new era now where renewable energy resources penetrate the system, where new networks are used, running on more electricity that is used smarter and more targeted. Also, it seems that the distribution and the power transportation and distribution unit needs to be changed. There are many areas in Greece where the transportation and distribution has to change. One of them is one of the things that have to change is Attica. One of the things that have to change in Attica are the interconnection between different providers. This means that we have to modernize a network. This challenge, however, is very big because it really affects the heart, the core of the network, and all the stakeholders that should contribute will not exist in future if this does not change. The regulatory framework also plays an important role, both as it exists from the point of view of regulation and from the point of view of enabling interconnection, domestic interconnection or interconnection to other countries. Yesterday we had very interesting presentations about hybrid networks. We have already seen in the very recent past very ambitious projects, such as, for example, the interconnection of Crete and Peloponnesus, and we need to do that. But in a reliable and consistent way. Because this is what is needed always: reliability and consistency when we're talking about the environment. Technology is, of course, able to assist us. We have heard very interesting speeches. The question is electrification the solution? I think that the answer is that electricity is the most performing and efficient mode of energy production compared to all other forms of energy production. So electricity and electrification is really the solution. And this is true for all levels. Of course, using new technologies such as, for example, pumping storage, about wind farms, about hydrogen, despite the fact that we're still at an experimental phase. The so-called cold ironing, and let us take into consideration the fact that emissions, Greek emissions, can actually be reduced using cold ironing, and especially the emissions of ships that use their generators while at port. So these tools that are slowly and gradually making their appearance, and of course green certificates. Regarding digitalization, we have heard before Mr. Bakouras underlining the importance of this issue. Why digitalization? Because 60% of the energy produced is lost. Using, therefore, a digital energy, we will become wiser, both in the production process and in the consumption of energy. Since digital applications can give us information about how this works, what is our profile, how can we improve it, how can we save energy, which actions and activities can help us, and of course also how to plan better technical projects and their maintenance, preventive or corrective. This proposal has actually invested a lot in system digitalization, both regarding the software and the hardware and the services provided. And we are at your disposal for any discussion. We're ready to discuss with you how we can assist you both in electrification and a better design of the program, a better planning of the network, and in using smart technology in renewable energy resources and storage. At this point, I would like to thank Mr. Paragoulis again for giving us the opportunity to speak about all this. I have the opportunity to have the pleasure rather to invite now my colleague Mrs. Georgiou to take the floor. And I think that his ideas will contribute greatly to understanding digital energy and also renewable energy resources.
Good evening. I would also like to thank the Energy Press for this opportunity. It's the third time that we are present in this conference, and I believe that this is truly at the heart of the matter, and that it does truly cover all the aspects and parameters regarding energy transition and energy transformation. In the next slides, quite briefly, I will focus on two subjects. The first is to highlight a project that we believe really reflects this concept of the transformation, the transition, not only on a technology level, but on the economy and society level. The second thing, I want to give you an idea about how a company such as ours, very small but very dynamic and robust company with a great ambition and drive to develop the right products and solutions, can adapt its portfolio, its services, the solutions that it develops based on the latest developments that cover the entire range of what Χρύσα talked about, production, transmission, and distribution of energy. The first thing I want to talk about is a project where our company participated in. It's a European project, European program, the Alphion program. It has to do with a specific harbor, a port in our country, in Igoumenitsa. We're very happy to work with a number of other partners in Greece and abroad. And the goal of this program is to study how such a harbor can use these new technologies and how it can support this transformation, this transition. In the context of Alphion, what we do today is to study very specific interventions in the area of the port. First of all, the inclusion, the installation of systems, of area systems. Secondly, storage, how we can store this energy. And thirdly, how technologies that have to do with electrification and supply of green energy to different loads. One of these technologies is called ironing, how to supply ships with energy from the shore. It's also the charging of electric vehicles, and it's smart lighting. The challenge for us as a company in this project is to design solutions to study the electrical grid and introduce and include these concepts in a general solution, and to ensure that everything works reliably, safely, and of course cost effectively in a sustainable manner. Our vision, what we expect to see when we implement these solutions is, of course, we want to see the introduction of new technologies, but we also want to see at the end of this project, we want to find areas such as these ports, we have many such ports in Greece, to be transformed into energy hubs and to have them participate actively in the transformation, not only on a technical level, but also on a social level, on an economic level, in these areas where they are installed and they operate. The second topic, and of course, in the context of this project, we should say something that Χρύσα mentioned before. It's not just the part of the studies and of implementing these projects, it's also the part of the engineering, the designing, and designing flexible systems, that relate to protection, automation, monitoring of these systems, and of course our company designs and implements such solutions. Talking about the management of the grid and costing, pricing, and management of electric vehicles and different other areas. The second topic that I wanted to touch on, and something that will help us conclude the presentation, is how we see this transition and how we try to improve ourselves and mostly to adapt to these developments. And I think this is a responsibility, strategic choice of all companies that participate in this large project, this energy transition, energy development. So this is going to be my last slide, and I'm trying to show you how our company has changed its portfolio of products in order to meet these new requirements. I will show you a few examples of projects where our company participated lately. Going back a few years, maybe 10 years, none of these projects would have been in our agenda or in our main strategic planning. These are all new projects, new areas that we are entering. Now, talking about production, this is a study for the inclusion of a large photovoltaic park that we completed recently in order to interconnect this plant to the grid, the national transmission grid. Then we are moving to the distribution. This is a nice example. It's the development of the EMSP platform. It's a platform that BBC Blue is using right now. It's a very successful project. Just a while ago, this was launched, introduced by BBC. This is the interconnection of Crete and Peloponnesus. Peloponnese, one of the most important projects that have taken place in Greece, and we were responsible for designing and developing the electronic interconnection monitoring systems. Then we have the smart meters. It's an area where we have been active in for the last 10-15 years, and we have developed the basic telemetry and telemetric management for low voltage customers, medium voltage customers, for HEDNO. Then, finally, we have automation systems, a system that has to do with digital substation control systems. Our company has completed a very large number of such projects, most of which are related with the inclusion of new RES plants or photovoltaic or wind parks to the Greek transmission system. And finally, this is a strategic project by HEDNO, the digitization of the model and the electric transmission grid, electric distribution grid. Excuse me, we're working towards integrating this to the grid. And I'd like to close my presentation by saying that our company, as many other companies that are either here today or maybe not, we are aligned in this framework to provide specific technology, specific services, and we want to believe that when this transition period, this development period and modernization period is over, who will be one of the companies that we have assisted to a greater or to a smaller extent in this process. I want to thank you all and wish you all good. I hope you have a nice conference.